Thank you very much. I'm Dejan S, professor from Belgrade. I'm very happy to be here. First of all, I want to congratulate to Montenegro and to Minister Luksic, because Montenegro took very brave step ahead and started the very important thing for the regional peace, first of all, and stability. And I'm hoping that those words from ministers from our region, Ms. Vucic and Mr. Jakic, are the words of encouragement and the words which are going to be most valued in NATO, and that they will understand the efforts of Montenegro and helping to be healed those wounds in the region. Why I'm talking like that? Because right now we have a great crisis of unexpected aggression, as our colleague from Ukraine was telling us about, and we have something which we didn't expect it. But what about the second weakest point of Europe today, and second weakest point of Euro-Atlantic community, if we want to talk about like that? I'm thinking about the Balkan region and the question of Serbia. How we are going to heal that wound? I would like to hear Mr. Moore, how he sees from the perspective of US the position of Balkan and especially Serbia, and how we can heal those wounds, because it is very important for our common future. I was initiated to talk like this and to raise those questions because I have heard from Ms. Pusic, Minister Pusic from Croatia, that she mentioned Bosnia and Herzegovina and Montenegro as a part of Euro-Atlantic community, but not Serbia. And I felt somehow offended, because we are all part of Euro-Atlantic community. That is something which is going to be proven in the coming period. But we need time, we need understanding, and we need some moves ahead which are going to encourage the transformation of Serbia in the right direction. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. For those of the questions, I will ask Mr. Moore yourself if you can answer that question, and then we will leave it at that. I'm sorry. Please.
Thank you very much for the question. I had the honor of meeting Prime Minister Vucic in Belgrade just a couple of days ago on my way here to Budva. We talked on a number of issues, including the development of bilateral relations, and we also affirmed, as we have been able to do to Serbia with a number of governments, as we talk about the open door to the alliance, the door is open to Serbia as well. Serbia currently has a policy of neutrality, is not applying to be a member of NATO. We're very pleased on a bilateral level. We have excellent relations between our militaries and a number of visits back and forth. The concept that the door is open to Serbia is something that needs to be understood. I think the results of the recent elections showing now an absence of Eurosceptics, at least public Eurosceptics in the Skupština, is a very important step forward. The commitment of the government and the previous government, both Prime Ministers Dačić and now Vucic, to the dialogue led by the European Union for normalization with Kosovo, which, by the way, thank you for mentioning the broader region of Kosovo as well, in our policy has our full support for joining both the Partnership for Peace and eventually NATO. If that is something that Serbia wishes to pursue, the United States would support that. The doors are open for Serbia as well. With a comprehensive bilateral relationship, we're seeing a tremendous growth in investment in Serbia. That needs to be seen elsewhere in the region. The role that this government and Prime Minister Dačić, when he was in government, also played with regard to the region, Bosnia and Herzegovina, relations with Montenegro. We look forward to a good bilateral visit of the Prime Minister of Albania to Belgrade at some point soon. Serbia has shown its role in the region, its commitment to moving forward in a positive direction. We see that very clearly with the progress made towards the European Union. The door is open there as well. And I apologize to the moderator. I had no intention to turn this into a debate on NATO defense budgets. I'm glad that we've had the discussion about that. I hope it is clear that is not a new criterion that was imposed today on Montenegro, a country that has shown such tremendous progress and again is the most compelling candidate for NATO membership. With a question from Lithuanian, a brief anecdote. Having served in our embassy in Lithuania around the same time Stefan Füle was the ambassador of the Czech Republic in the 1990s, I remember very well in Washington and in other NATO capitals in 1995 and 1996, the idea that Lithuania or any of the Baltic states could ever join the alliance was completely outside, the local expression would be van pamet, completely outside any possibility that such a thing would ever happen. NATO and enlargement and the open door is all part of a continuum. Getting through that door does not mean your work is done, you don't have to spend any money on defense, you will be protected, you're under the umbrella. And by the way, all of the ministers who are here, Minister Kovelli from Albania as well as the ministers here on the panel will tell you, if you ask them, did your country get into NATO soon enough? None of them, I suspect, would say, oh yes, absolutely, we got in too early. Everyone had to do the work to get into the alliance, and they have to continue to do the work inside the alliance, as we are committed to doing in the United States. It is an ongoing process. It's not about 2009 or 2014 or whenever a next summit would be. It's about ongoing investment and commitment to the alliance. We are confident that Montenegro is playing that role and will continue to do that, whether it gets in tomorrow or the next day or at whatever point in the future. It is an ongoing responsibility. We fully support that, and we are confident that those doors will stay open for other countries as well. I do not want to predict the future. I believe we're under Chatham House rules, but there are a few too many cameras, notebooks, and microphones for that. In any case, the day when Serbia applies for NATO, which is a day we hope to see in the future, and when other countries in the region move through that door, is what we want. The Europe whole, free, and at peace, the Republican and Democratic administrations, Secretary Kerry, Secretary Clinton, and their predecessors have been talking about for decades now. So thank you again for the opportunity to expound a little bit on the issues on the table.
Well, thank you very much. You've taken away most of my closing.